Of all the very talented soapers you could have watched, here you are at my video. Thank you. I'm beginning this video showing you how I'm making the embed for my the weather soap. This is my second attempt. My first attempt, soap came out very crumbly. You see, I'm going to use a cookie cutter to cut the soap, stack it, and make an embed. Well, this soap was very crumbly, very soft, very spongy. So I simplified it. Most basic soap recipe. Well, not the most basic soap recipe, but a very basic soap recipe. I think this is the fourth time that I have used a cookie cutter to make my embed. And I'm just doing the top half of the umbrella because it's a challenge to get soap in here and then be able to shove it out of there without it breaking. And I just push it out. So here we got the top of an umbrella. And you see I've already started. This is how far we've gotten. It's the color of like cinnamon gum. I just threw some mica into my soap. There wasn't any special plan here. I tend to do that almost with all of my soap, especially when it comes to colors. I'm not really particular. So here we have part of my embed. I'm going to add the umbrella handle later. Let's move along to the rest, shall we? Well, all right. Let's get started with the main portion of the soap. First, I'm going to let you know what's in this lovely combination of wonderful things. We've got in here goat milk, white kaolin clay, sodium lactate, powdered sugar, my fragrance, which is sea salt and orchid. It has top notes of sea salt and ozone, which I didn't think sea salt had a smell, but whatever. Middle notes of jasmine, lily of the valley, and green leaves. Base notes of wood and tonka bean. I think it's a very good soap fragrance. It's a very clean, fresh, lovely smell. As usual, I've got an idea in my head, but I'm one of those people who I have an idea, but I'm really not concerned with perfection, I guess. So we've got 6 oils here. We've got coconut oil, lard, cocoa butter, castor oil, olive oil, canola oil. So I'm mixing in my soft oils into my already melted hard oils. Does it matter as a soap maker whether or not you add it to the oils or to the after already mixed in lye? I really don't know. It looks so cool. Oil and water do not like each other. It's like a lava lamp type stuff. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to stick blend it, and then I'm going to add in our lye water, and then we'll get going. Now it's a beautiful milky white. Here's our lye water with a pinch of Tussa silk fibers in it. Let's hope this fragrance oil doesn't accelerate. Pouring a little bit in here. Well, that seems good, I hope. Going to add green apple mica. Okay, now I want for this to thicken up because this is going to be a layer, the first layer. So I may try to stick blend this a little bit. If it's deep enough, we'll try. Let's see if we can stick blend this. My cord is kind of short, so I'm going to have to shove it over here for a second. Oh, we got lots of nice bubbles in there. We're just gonna have to have it be bubbly, I guess. Well, we'll see. I have so many bubbles. Okay, I'm going to add some soap shreds. The majority of these soap shreds are green, a light green, but there is some blue and some browns. Let's pour our first layer. I need this to thicken up a little bit because my embed's got to be cradled by this first layer. So I'm going to let this set for just a little while and see what happens. It doesn't jiggle too much now, so we're going to go for it. My embed. Startling looking, isn't it? This is an umbrella without the umbrella handle, covered in activated charcoal because I really like the looks. Now my umbrella is going to be sitting on the ground rather than being up like a normal umbrella. At least that's how I'm choosing for it to look. So we'll come back to that. My soap batter has thickened more than I expected, so I'm going to put a little bit in here. This is slate silver mica. I'm only going to put a little bit in here. The rest is going to go in the big container, but I'm going to see how much this does. Oh yeah, that'll be good. That looks good to me. Because it's going to be the end of a rainy day. It's not going to be raining in my soap. It's going to be the end of the rain. Most people watching this already know, but the theme of this soap for the collaboration is called Weather the Weather, and it's supposed to be inspired by weather. Into this one, I'm going to dump the little one in. A slight color change. I hope it shows up as different. I think it will. Sorry, I keep hitting you, but you're kind of in the way. Now we're supposed to experiment with a technique we've never tried before. Mine is going to be piping. I've never piped. Let's start pouring here. And I have to remember to leave enough to try to pipe. I'll stop there and I'll save the rest for piping just so I can learn how, basically. In order to save my piping bag for more than one use, I've seen you fantastic soapers using saran wrap to line the inside of your piping bags. And that's because you guys are just such economical geniuses. Well, we'll guess at that much, maybe. A lot of guessing games today. I'm assuming I need to let this thicken up more than this. So I'm going to let it set for like 5 minutes or so. I don't know, this still might be too thin, but I'm gonna lay it out here. Yes, I have taken my gloves off. I accidentally, purposefully took them off. But I was going to sort of lightly mix in both activated charcoal and some white glitter. Okay, and then the glitter I'm using is Slice of the Moon. Whoa, that's some fine glitter. Now what I've seen you guys do is you fold it over and kind of roll it into there, right? Make a little sausage. Isn't it cute? Alright, that was my first experience with that, so I was just enjoying it. Okay. This is what my tip looks like. It's a spiky tip 3000. I don't know what it is. Let's see, how do I do this now? I just kind of put it in there. Okay, it's in there and it's kind of thin. Okay, shall we give it a try? I think so. My soap. Ah, I have the awkward feeling of how do you hold this thing? Okay. Alright, well, it seems to be going alright. Oh, you can see the glitter lines. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see the glitter lines. And I'm not doing the dollops because this is supposed to be the sky and I wanted it to be kind of, you know, not uniform. This is working so well. I'm at a really weird angle though here. So far this is a positive experience. I don't know how cloudy this looks, but I do see the glitter. There's a silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining. Well, this was a fun and educational experience. I'm gonna bang this down because I kind of want this to flatten out just a little bit, just because I don't want it to look too wormy. That's that. I'll spray it with some rubbing alcohol and we'll be back for the cut and then the addition of one more little decoration. A day and a half later. Nice bright green there. I'm gonna try to cut it off to where the umbrella starts. So let's see if right here is a good spot. Oh, there's our umbrella. And our grass. Looks good to me. And you get a little bit of storm cloud up there. Ooh, I like it. I still have some details to add for the umbrella, and then I'm going to have a handle and something else I'm going to have added. That looks nice. Ooh, you can see slightly my two different colors. So it's kind of like the sky, sorta. I guess this could be either before or after the storm, which is my favorite times. I like the smell before a storm, and I like the fresh cleanness after a storm. The air feels extra fresh after a storm. I'm happy with this. I'm really happy with it. What's your favorite type of weather? What do you think about storms and rain? Look at that fragrance oil drip. At least I think that's what that is. Yep, it did. But there's no umbrella on this side. Now what I'm going to do is fill in these holes with these extra soaps. So I'll chop that off. Then I'm going to knead it a little bit. And then fill in that hole, and this hole, and that one. And there we go. So I'm going to do that to all of my soaps. Fill in all their holes. Well, we got all our holes filled. Now we're going to do a bit of dainty work. I got a chunk of melt and pour that I'm going to melt. And the reason is because I'm going to paint with melt and pour. Unless you guys have something I don't know about, when I paint with mica and rubbing alcohol, it just kind of wipes away if you touch it, or smears. Or what are your tips on painting with rubbing alcohol and mica without it wiping away? So I'm going to try melt and pour, color it, and just try painting with it and see how it goes. Alright, we've got our melt and pour melted, and then I have some pink mica. Let's see how that looks. I've got these precious little mice, and they need pink ears and a pink tail and a pink nose. Let's get you right on the mouse there so you can see his little features. Okay, I have a feeling this isn't going to be dark enough. I'm going to use this one as my test mouse because he actually broke when I was cleaning him. But I don't think this is pink enough. Nope. And it's hardening as I'm painting. And he's got a tiny little nose. Can I even manage that? I still think this should be darker. Boy, this is not going near as smooth as I was really hoping it would. It keeps hardening. I need it to not. So I'm not going to continually record myself painting these, but I will record when I switch up the color. But this melt and pour, you gotta constantly keep it hot. I got a little Scentsy warmer out, which I don't know if is keeping it hot enough, but you have to stir it every time you're going to use it. It's wild. I've never really worked a whole lot with melt and pour. It's kind of a new experience, so. I will come back when these are all painted pink where they're supposed to be pink, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Well, doing more with melt and pour besides melting it and pouring it is really not easy. I had to constantly be warming that and stirring it, and I'm going to add some activated charcoal to this to make it black, to make the little eyes, and to add the detail to my umbrellas. Alrighty, we've got our black melt and pour now. We need to put some eyes on these precious little mice, and it will pull it all together, because eyes just make a being. Well, that was easy. Dots are a lot easier than trying to paint. So much cuter with eyes. Now I'm going to draw the umbrella handle onto the soap, and then I'm going to paint the part that I drew black with the melt and pour. This is such a strange angle. I'm trying to do it for our video here. So as simple as that, just a little grooved outline, and then paint it black. Then I'm also, oh, this is such a bad angle. Excuse me, I bumped you. And then I'm also going to, you know how the umbrellas have those wires? Go up to the center with that. All right. So I went ahead and beveled my soap bars, and I also went ahead and stamped them. I've never stamped on the side before, but it looks nice. So now we're going to paint some melt and pour on both sides of the umbrella. I'm actually going to do it first on a bar that's not perfect, which is this one, and we'll see how it goes. A stormy day for this little mouse that's going to be here. I don't really recommend painting with melt and pour. Well, unless you've got the patience for it. Which I do for a little while. But all the stirring. If you're gonna do it, having a little wax warmer helps so much. Alright, there we got our handle. If you guys have any soap painting advice, I will take it. I have never put this much time and work into a soap before. Trying to decide if I should bother. Alright, this was my practice bar, since it was kind of messy in the first place. And then once this dries, I'm going to paint the other side. Alrighty, we got our umbrella painted, both sides. One side will have a mouse. So we take our little mouse and decide where. And I think I'm gonna have the handle right there next to his ear so that I don't cover up the handle of the umbrella. So here I've got some water, and I'm choosing to glue it on with water because it's worked for me in the past, and so it will work for me in the present. So I paint the entire area of the mouse. Now we will set our mouse right where we want it. And I think this is where we all decided it was going to go, right? But I never feel comfortable with that being good enough. Once I have him where I want him, then I continue with my water here and I paint all the way around him. Particularly under his little ear because it raises a little bit because it's thinner. But after that extra reinforcement, I'll press it down one more time. You see the bubbles coming out there? All right. Now this has without a doubt been the most work I've ever done on a soap. This is what our final result will be. That water will dry and it will look like so. We got our stamp on the side, and then the back will be without a mouse. And we got our stormy clouds up here and our bright green grass. You can kind of see my glitter lines in the sky, kind of. Okay, I would say we are done now. Thanks for hanging out with me as I create my version of Weather the Weather for the soap collaboration. Whether the weather is good or bad, all clouds really do have a silver lining. Hope you stick around.